everyone, welcome to Shell Sugar Rush and welcome back if you've been here before. Today we're going to be making the most moist red velvet cake I have ever had in my life with just some simple cream cheese frosting. So let's put it all together. So for our red velvet cake, you're going to need 1.5 cups of oil. You can use vegetable oil. I've chosen to use canola, just personal preference. 2 large eggs, 1 cup of buttermilk. You will also need 1 tablespoon of vinegar, as well as 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 cups of granulated sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. That is unsweetened cocoa powder. And in here I also have 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and then you'll need some food coloring. I've chosen to use the Chef Master Red for my coloring, and of course I have 2 8-inch cake pans lined with parchment paper ready to go. Now I'm going to use my stand mixer for this just because it'll be easier to pour everything in and add the ingredients without having to hold a hand mixer. So we're going to start by combining our oil. Get our oil in there. And our eggs. And I'm going to crack my eggs in the bowl just to make sure I don't get any eggshells in there. Our eggs in. Go ahead and add our buttermilk as well as our vinegar and our vanilla. And we are just going to mix this on a medium speed until I feel like it's good and combined. And there we go, good and combined. That didn't take long at all, about 30 seconds or so. And now we're going to add in our granulated sugar. And I'm just going to spread that around. And then we're going to mix this up until we've got everything good and incorporated. And I'm going to just stick my shield on here, just so we don't have anything flying out, okay? Okay, and I'm just going to scrape down the bowl just to make sure everything's good and mixed together. Okay, so now we're going to add in our cocoa powder, salt, and baking soda. Okay. There we go. And mix that up real good. And again, I'm just going to scrape down my bowl just to make sure we've got everything good and incorporated. Okay, now at this point we're going to add in our flour and our food coloring. So just put a little bit of this in at a time here. And I'm just going to scrape down the sides of my bowl again just to make sure we've got everything good and mixed together. I'm going to get the inside as well. And I'll just leave that on, and I'm just gonna do a few drops of the food coloring until I feel like I've got it where I'd like for it to be. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, getting there. I want to put a little more. It usually takes a good bit of the food coloring to get the red you're looking for a red velvet cake. Now you do want to keep in mind as well that, you know, when this bakes, you do lose some of that red color. So, you know, you don't want to put too much, but also you don't want to put too little either. Okay, now that that's all combined, we are going to put this in our pans and we'll be ready for the oven. And then you want to just divide your batter evenly amongst the two pans. Okay, and I like to just tap these just a little bit just to get those, just to pop those air bubbles. Okay, and we're ready to go into our preheated 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. We're going to start checking them for doneness at 25 minutes. Okay, so it's time to check our cakes. And I will tell you guys, I have checked them a couple of times, and since I did use 2 pans instead of 3, which you can use, I did go a little longer with the baking, so hopefully they're ready now. But we're gonna stick a toothpick in and see. Yes, they're ready. So we're gonna take these out and let them cool. They actually did go for 40 minutes. Since it's such a moist and fragile cake, I just prefer the thicker layers on it, but you can do this in 3 pans and it would, you know, stay within that 25 to 30 minute range. So let's let these cool and we're gonna whip up some cream cheese frosting. Okay, so it's time to make our cream cheese buttercream, and we're gonna start with 1 cup of butter. Now I like to use 1 unsalted and 1 salted. That way I don't have to add salt, but of course you can use both unsalted, and if you do, you probably just want to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to it. So, and we'll also need 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I prefer the brick. I think that definitely works better. You'll need some heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and of course your powdered sugar, and we're going to use about 6 cups of this, okay? So we're going to start by creaming our butter and our cream cheese together in the stand mixer. So at this point we're going to start adding our powdered sugar, and we're going to use our heavy cream just a little bit at a time until we get it to the consistency that you're looking for. You know, cream cheese icing tends to be a little less stable than buttercream, but if you're going to be piping with it, you want some stable consistency with it. So you just use the heavy cream, and generally I'll use about 4 to 6 tablespoons, but you're going to just add that till you feel like you've got the consistency that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead also and put our vanilla in here. And then we'll get our powdered sugar ready. So we're going to add this just 1 cup at a time, and like I said, we're going to use about 6 cups. So I'm going to go ahead and put half of that in to start with. You can see how that looks. A pretty nice consistency there, but still a little thinner than what I'm looking for. So we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our powdered sugar. And that looks perfect. Just what I'm looking for. And remember, you can adjust and you can add more or less powdered sugar just depending on what flavor and consistency you're looking for. So I think we're ready to frost our cake. And we've got our red velvet cake layers, we've got a cake board, and I'm going to use a 10-inch, even though this is an 8-inch cake, just to give me some room to work with. And we've got our cream cheese frosting and a couple of utensils for decorating our cake. So we're going to take a little bit of this frosting and just kind of spread it on here, keep our cake from moving around. And let's see, I am going to start with this one. I'm going to put it bottom side down, flat side on the bottom, okay? And just center it as much as possible. And since I've got some pretty thick layers, I want to make sure, I have a nice thick layer of cream cheese through the center. And now I'm going to put this next layer bottom side up so that we get a nice flat surface on top. And I'm just going to kind of turn it here and just make sure it's pretty even all the way around. And then we're going to get our sides. You just want to go around and just anywhere you feel like you need some more frosting, just go ahead and put it on there. We can be generous with this frosting because we don't have much left, so we want to use the rest of it. Alright, I'm just going to take my bench scraper and go around and just make sure everything's nice and smooth. Okay guys, so there we go. So there is our red velvet cake, and I know this is looks like a simple frosting job, but that's because I'm going to be doing more to this. Like I said, this cake is going to be for my nephew for his birthday, so I'm going to be doing something special with it. So make sure you look out for my next video where I'm going to be turning this into an anti-gravity cake. Okay. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.